Hey,
Yes.
Melissa,
hmm
you got questions?
I do.
You do? What you got?
Would it be possible for us to discuss what in the ever loving is going on with? I think we talked a little bit about this last weekend. Um, there was a lot going on socially in my world. And
Yeah.
what I can tell you is, I mean, in addition to some other things that people may or may not listen to, I hope they will. There was a lot going on, personally, but just astrologically, just for everyone, there were some things going on and it in my world, in my body, in my experience, and not just in my experience, but in the experience of the collective. It was a weird freaking weekend. I mean, people revved up.
Yes.
There were not fistfights, but like agitation and confrontations. And at
hmm
some point, me just going, I am going to back up, put on my sunglasses, move around, listen to little bits of this and that. And people just seemed disgrunt untold.
Um, all right. So the eclipse has not happened yet. We're going into eclipse season, which we're going to talk about a little. But last weekend in particular, this Virgo new moon, we want to pay attention to what was this new moon in Virgo square to or opposite or conjunct because of hard angles. And we've done an episode on hard angles and why they're worth considering. What was hard angles are opposition, square, and conjunction, depending on who's conjuncting. So looking at a square, we go
That's what it
90.
felt like.
There
Yes.
we go. Did it feel like
Yes.
Uranus was a housewife coming in and flipping tables?
Yes, it had that energy. It had urine B-U-E.
Yeah, big Uranus energy. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it was.
So Uranus is the planet of disruption, chaos, innovation, but slash and it is the planet that always asks, where am I not free? And wherever I'm not free, I'm about to fuck some shit up to make sure we get free.
That is about
Squaring.
what almost was. That truly, truly, that's what almost every one of these things was about. You're pushing my boundaries. Don't say that. Back up. I feel like I'm trapped in this situation. Oh boy.
No bueno. Yeah. Yeah. We always want to look at, with any lunation, what is at the exact degree or within a couple by those hard angles in particular, because that
Yeah.
basically is going to be baked in to that, in this case, new moon. And so while this wasn't an eclipse, it definitely had some high pressure energy. And it happened in the same sign that the eclipses are
Yeah.
happening in September. So
And there had just been a change, just change.
yes, yeah, because we'll look at this 0 degrees, 23 minutes, Virgo, sun and moon. Both, like the sun had just gone from Leo into Virgo, and then the moon goes, me too. And then boom, we get this
Yeah.
new moon. And while the south node is over here at 18 degrees, 19 minutes, and therefore far enough away to not classify this as an eclipse, it's a part of the conversation too. That energy,
Mhm.
especially south node energy, and the south node is the one, I always say south node's the one shaped like a bucket, and there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, because that hole in the bucket, if you remember that song from your Gen X
Yeah.
upbringing, um, that south node is a drain of energy. It is
hmm
taking the energy of the moment and just losing it all on the ground.
Right.
It's hard. The south node eclipses are always harder than the north node eclipses because of that drain of energy. So what we've got coming up eclipse wise
hmm
is first this one in Pisces, and you see Pisces has the moon next to the north node, Pisces moon next to the north node, also in Pisces, south node next to the sun in Virgo. This is happening on September 7th of 2025. And do we have anything around this number of degrees in a hard angle? Doesn't look like. Yep. And then we go to, so this is the softer of the eclipses because it's got that north node influence.
Yeah.
And then we get to the one in Virgo at 29 motherfucking degrees, and 29 degrees is the critical degree. It is the one in which the sun and the moon will do the most sun and moon things in the most Virgo way because it's at 29 degrees Virgo. And then there's the south node, again, not terribly close, but still enough to make it an eclipse. And then north node over here in Pisces. This is what we call a south node eclipse. This is going to be a little bit harder. And then we want to take a look at, do we have anything happening near 29 degrees in a hard angle that we're going to be dealing with? Oh,
What
you know,
when
you know, we have
oh Lord,
Daddy Saturn having retrograded back into Pisces at 28 degrees, and Neptune just out of sign, but not by a lot. Neptune retrograding at 0 degrees Aries. So that, of course, is going to be a part of the flavoring, the seasoning of this eclipse on the 21st of September, 2025. Now, Uranus,
yay!
Uranus, not a player on these like they were on this weekend that we just had. So yay for that. But different kinds of energies for what's coming up. And we didn't say this, but especially if you have in your natal chart any of those degrees.
What is the orb? Like what is the the degrees?
You know what? That's a really good question with eclipses. Moon shit in general, we use a pretty broad orb because the moon moves so fast that she's gonna be wherever she's headed in just a couple of hours. You know, like it is usually like even a 8 to 13 degree orb I've seen with the moon stuff. But for me, eclipse wise, I'm looking at within like 3 to 5. That's as far as I would go.
So if someone has a planet in Virgo at 26 degrees, even though it wouldn't be applying, it would be separating, it would already have gone over. Could that still be like, ow?
So since Pluto is the planet you're asking about, and I know this because we share it, what it is more likely is the generational impact as opposed to the personal impact, because Pluto is not a personal planet.
Yeah. Okay.
And because it is separating, it is more likely that the moon and the sun coming across Virgo, Pluto in our natal charts is picking up some of that mob boss, tower card energy to bake into the eclipse, as opposed to doing something activating in our natal charts. But that's because it's an outer planet, and outer planets work more generationally than individually.
It'll definitely be skimming over my Mercury and Pluto at basically the same time. So I'll pay attention to that.
Yep. Yeah, that you'll feel. Mercury, you will definitely, yes. I would look at specifically issues of communication, using your words, how you're doing so powerfully, you know, responsibly. Eclipses create usually situations that are unpredictable or unexpected. That's why the big rest, hydrate, bubble wrap formula for eclipses.
You have a lot going on with eclipses in your other world, meaning like you're doing other things with eclipses. So I don't want to wear you out about discussing eclipses because you have so
Always
much to offer right now
fun to talk about.
with that. Why do people continue study? I'm not like a big, oh, I'm scared of the astrology, but I am aware that I continue hearing people say the second eclipse is gonna has the potential to be a real ass kicker.
It does.
Okay.
It does. So why do people choose the more inflammatory perception? Like, first off, hang on. Beep, back up. The issue of any transit is I transit am going to come and create opportunities for certain things to happen. I do not make things happen. I create conditions under which certain things might happen.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, why are there people out there who will choose the most dramatic, the most inflammatory, the most version to try and get people to come to their social media
Right.
or
That's
their
true.
class or their one-on-one sessions or whatever it is that they're doing, sell books, sell merch, I don't know, post their meme? Well, for the same reason that the most dramatic telling of every headline of every possible thing out there is what gets fed into
So,
the algorithm and rewarded.
mm,
The more dramatic it is, the more rewarded it gets. That's why we've got this cute little podcast that's just nice and quiet over here, just going to change the world eventually. But right now, it's nice and it's very, very quiet. But the
uh-huh.
people who listen love it. They love
Yeah.
it. We love it.
I do too.
Because we're not, because I'm not going to put a headline on this that says, is your life going to end with the next eclipse? Or is the, oh
Here
God,
it comes.
I let the YouTube AI suggest a topic for me based on what I've done previously and what my viewers like, because there's enough data in my back end, woohoo, data in my back end to have figured this out. And oh dear Lord, YouTube suggested that I do where's the Trump part of your chart? No.
Hmm?
Where is the Trump energy? As in Donald J. And it
Oh
was
no, I
about
understand.
it was yeah, I'm like,
I
you
don't
think
know.
I will ever? No. But think about if I put out something that was find the Trump energy in your natal chart. Do you think the algorithm would reward that title?
Probably so. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, well, there's a I do have one thing that not that it would be that, but
But think of the image I could use as a thumbnail. I mean, like it would get why. So why do people do that? Why do people say this last eclipse is going to be the last eclipse of this upcoming eclipse season is going to be so intense? It has the potential to be intense. All
yeah.
eclipses have the potential to be intense. And this one in particular, with that opposition to both Saturn and out of sign Neptune, is going to do stuff generationally. It's going to do stuff on a larger scale. The outers make things happen to the collective.
Now that you mention it, I am when we are done, I'm going to get on someone's chart and look at transits with that
I have to say,
person's chart.
someone, I won't say who, because if I say what his role was, everybody will be able to figure out who it is. Not important. Someone was stopping by a while back and wanted to just chit chat about Cheeto in chief and how horrible he is. And why does he get away with this and this and this? And I said, well, I could tell you astrologically why he gets away with it. And this person's never necessarily been interested in astrology around me, but I was in a sassy mood. So I put it out there and he's like, yeah, tell me. And so I told him. And then one of the things I said after my little assessment there was about his natal chart was, but we've got some eclipses coming up that are really going to fuck with his health. To which this person replied, Yeah, he does like to look right up at him, doesn't he? That's not what I meant. I didn't mean his health was going to suffer because he looks straight into the,
Wear eclipse glasses.
I
Wear
mean,
PSA.
I meant
What in the world?
astrologically the health is gonna anyway.
Right.
Anyway,
No.
that to me was just that's precious. That's adorable. I love that.
Aw.
Do you know if you were born during an eclipse? That's a question I have for you, for us,
Yes.
for the viewer.
I was not born on an eclipse, but I was born 5 days after.
Oh, so
And
you got
so
eclipse energy.
was it 5 days after? Yeah, I think 5 days after. And then maybe, I don't know how many days before.
Oh, between eclipses?
Yeah,
All right.
pretty sure.
Hang on here. Let's do a
Pretty sure.
eclipses. What year? 1970.
70.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's one on March 7th. You weren't born toward that. Let's see. Solar, let's see, all eclipses. Oh, look at this. Even in the sidebar, eclipses in 1974. Eclipse. Oh my gosh. Oh God, quit giving me pop-ups. Dang.
So many suggestions.
So many suggestions. Oh, I do like that we could just go straight into AstroSeek and get this. Yeah, okay. So when were the eclipses? 1970. There were four. There are four eclipses every
Oh,
year.
well, okay.
All right. February 21st,
Two.
March 7th, August 17th, and
5 to 7.
August 31st. Yep.
Yeah,
You're
so
born,
5 days after and
yeah,
9 days before.
you were born in the window between two eclipses. So let's talk about what that means energetically. Eclipse people are intense people. Would you describe yourself as an intense people?
Go figure.
And
Dang.
said with the lowest amount of intensity I think you've ever said it.
Go figure. I mean, that's like the least surprising thing I've ever said. I'm pretty intense.
Eclipse people are powerful people. Eclipse people have a little energy of unpredictability,
Mhm.
intensity,
Yes.
and change because there is always a before and after story with eclipses.
Mhm.
And sometimes we don't know what the punchline is going to be until 6 months later when we're at the next set of eclipses. It depends on, are we looking back to 6 months ago and is this the punchline, or is this setting something up for 6 months from now and that eclipse season punchline?
Mhm.
So intense in what kind of way? You know, there were in ancient astrology beliefs that if a baby was born during an eclipse, that baby was either cursed or would be king or both.
Regulus.
There's a bunch of that, right?
Regulus. Oh, okay. So I think I did know that.
Which part?
The about the back in the day.
Yeah, the beliefs of like
A
it's
few years ago when they thought that.
well,
Um,
because if you think about before technology and understanding
sure.
much about things, it's like you're watching the sun go away.
Oh,
It's probably a little freaky,
how freaking scary.
right?
So we might want to do something different with this, but as I'm thinking about it in that window, if your nodes, for instance, my south node, Virgo,
Yes,
north node, Pisces, does that mean that those eclipses were for sure in Pisces and Virgo, or not necessarily because things can get kind of wobbly and move back and
that's
forth?
true. That's true. It's eclipses are like a relay race. And when we
Oh,
change the nodes, sometimes we are doing like we did last time, and we're going to have one last one in Libra before Libra Aries is done and
right.
fully handed off to Pisces Virgo. So I mean, let's just look. Let's go to the clock of, I can put it right in there.
And I don't even know if that, I mean, I don't know if that matters. I mean, if it's like the eclipse, this one happened, and then there's a thing, and it's not the nodes or
I would
whatever,
imagine it's
but
all interesting. So let's go to, all right. So first we have the eclipses in February and March of 1970. and we're at Virgo. So you see Virgo South Node,
Mhm.
Pisces North Node,
Mhm.
and then we're going to do it again March 7th. And we've got a total solar eclipse in
Mhm.
Pisces, that North Node, March 7th of
Mhm.
1970. And then the next one, August 16th, is definitely happening when the sun and the moon have shifted axes.
But wait, it's an Aquarius.
It is.
So
Right.
it's
This is that relay time. And
oh.
then the next one is all up in Virgo again.
Okay.
So
Huh.
so the question you asked is perfect because in fact, in your chart, you have the eclipse energy right before you're born of the next axis, which nodes go backwards. So it's, even though we were just in Virgo Pisces,
Mhm.
we don't go to Libra Aries, we go to
Yeah.
instead Leo Aquarius. So we're going like that. So
Mhm.
you're the eclipse that led into your birth was actually happening in a sign other than where the nodes were.
That's interesting. Huh.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but it's huh.
I don't know what that
Cool.
means either, but I would say that to me has me more interested in your Leo sun story than anything else.
Huh. All right.
Well, because if the eclipse that
Uh-huh.
happened before you were born
Yeah. Yeah.
was happening all up in Leo Aquarius,
Yeah.
and you're a Leo,
I am.
the eclipses to me say something more about that than
Then
where your nodes are. I mean, the nodes being where the nodes are, yes,
yeah.
because that wasn't done. That wasn't done. That axis we were shifting. I know. I don't know. I have questions. Smart people watch this. They can tell us in the
Yeah. Like who do we
comments.
ask?
Like what?
Who do we ask?
Not. I was going to duck go it again and see what.
Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Real people.
Yeah, human beings. Okay.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Happy eclipse season.
Happy eclipse season.
No,
Happy eclipse season. Yes.
try not to do too much peopling because since the energy is unpredictable, people being unpredictable can sometimes be unpleasant.
True. True
Just
that.
intense energy. I have a client who goes on sabbatical every eclipse season. So twice a year, she just goes and just closes her business, closes her life, doesn't do office hours, or I think she's in grad school. She doesn't do, she's like not available, goes away.
That's brilliant.
It is. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I got in the habit of I'm at least going to wall off that day from my coaching or astrology calendar so that whether somebody's coming to me for self-management for actors or chart harmony, I'm like, I need to not be bookable. These being on the weekend, sorry.
I have more questions at some point, but not
Of
today.
course, another time.
All right.
All right. Bye, Eclipse baby.
Bye bye.